Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. SBS offers live telecasts on Channel 59.3, YouTube, or Twitch. We include pre- and post-game interviews with the players.
You know, I started in the locker room. All the boys were getting going before the game and stuff, and we kind of found a little click at the beginning of the game, so I think that's what got us going.
We also include digital live statistics, play-by-play commentary, team highlight reels, and even more than that. Go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com or search Sports Broadcast Solutions on YouTube. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. At SBS, we offer a professional broadcasting experience for the non-professional athlete. Just like the pros, we offer everything for you. Play-by-play commentary.
A no-hitter at Kane County Stadium. 15 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 error, and that's it.
Color commentary, highlight reels, recruiting videos, and much, much more. Unlike our competitors, we zoom in on the action and always have a live scoreboard with a live time code. If you're ready to have your next sporting event feel like CBS Sports, then make sure to call Sports Broadcast Solutions today. Our phone number is 330-957-7653, or you can go online to sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. SBS, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Missing your child's sporting event just plain stinks. But you don't have to worry about that anymore, thanks to Sports Broadcast Solutions. SBS is a live broadcasting network, as well as covering your on-demand needs, recruiting videos, highlight reels, and much, much more. We can broadcast live to any website, and we also post as much on-demand content as you need. For more information about SBS, check out our website at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Sports Broadcast Solutions, a broadcasting network for everyone.
Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Let SBS broadcast your sporting event. We have experience and can generate excitement and permanent digital memories for your team.
Tonight. That time, finally a goal for the Stampede!
We have professional videographers using high-definition modern-day cameras, color analysts, and play-by-play announcers with state-of-the-art, classy graphical scoreboards to keep you updated. Plus, we have commercials to advertise your team, club, or sponsor, and us. Plus, we do pregame and postgame interviews.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the postgame show brought to you by Marion Central Catholic. My name's Kyle Smith, but my name doesn't matter. These young ladies matter. It's senior night as the Hurricanes win a battle down the stretch, 48-46.
Hi, I'm Carrie Kramer. I swim 50 breast, 50 free, and 100 back.
Whatever your sports broadcast needs, we are at sportsbroadcastsolutions.com. Check us out and become part of the digital sporting world. Sports Broadcast Solutions is a broadcasting network for everyone. Instead of spending hundreds or thousands with all these college recruiting sites, let us put together your college highlight reel. For just a fraction of your potential college scholarship and significantly less than these recruiting services, we got this. In addition, we put together highlight reels for teams, including high school, your club team, or travel team.
My teammate gave me a great pass, and I just took it. The other team slashed me, took the opportunity, saw where the goalie was weak, and I just shot it there.
Solon, O'Connor, and Marsh.
On this very cold Sunday in Romeoville, we welcome you inside Canlan Sports. Logan Kapp alongside Tommy Gilmert on the call today for this CSDHL championship matchup between the Affton Americans and the Rockford Hockey Club. We just saw a barn burner between Rockford and the Sting in the 16U division. And we're in store for what should be a pretty entertaining matchup for this 18U Red 1 division tilt.
Yeah, it certainly should be a very competitive top of the division throughout the season. This is a 14-team league. The top 8 make the playoffs, but they get seeded into 2 pools, such that you have the 1, 4, 5, and 8 seeds in Pool A. That was Rockford, the Blackbirds, Jaguars, and Comets. You get the 2, 3, 6, and 7 seeds in Pool B, Peoria, Affton, the Timberwolves, and Leafs. Rockford was certainly the favorite to come out of Pool 1, and here indeed they are, but it took a really tough hard-nosed victory over the Midwest Blackbirds by the final score of 3-2 to make it here. And a similar situation for Affton. It was going to be them or Peoria. And in their first game of pool play, Affton really handled the Mustangs by the score of 5-1, putting up 5 goals on a defense that has barely given up 40 goals all season. So really impressive offensive performance against Affton, or by Affton on Thursday night against Peoria. That was really, in the end, what put them into this game. So you have the number 1 and the number 3 teams from the regular season here facing off in the championship.
Absolutely. They faced off 2 times through the regular season. Afton lost both of those. They split it. It was a home-and-home series back at the beginning of December. Both times these teams have matched up, Rockford put 5 goals in the back of the net. So it'll be crucial for the Americans to limit those offensive zone opportunities early, possibly even put the puck in the back of the net before Rockford. But I mean, it's really hard to win a hockey game when you're letting in 5 goals, Tommy, and that's got to be paramount, top of mind for Affton Americans moving into this championship game after playing 3 games in 2 days. I mean, 2 games, a doubleheader yesterday for both squads. That's always tough. I mean, no matter at what point in the season you do that, but especially when it comes to Championship Sunday here in Romeoville.
Yeah, and you sometimes start to see the effects of that a little bit more as you get into the older ages. When you're looking at U10, U11 hockey, you don't have a lot of muscle, you don't get very tired, you can just kind of go. Really applies to any sport at that age. When you get to the physical games that these 18U players play, like we've seen these teams play a couple of in the last couple days, particularly that Rockford Blackbird games yesterday, that's going to take something out of you. Now, that said, sometimes adrenaline can just carry you through a championship game, and this is everything on the line right here in the final hours before everyone turns their attention to football this evening. Glad you're with us for what should be an outstanding hockey championship game.
It absolutely will be, and we'll send it down for starting lineups and the national anthem. You're watching the CSDHL championship game right here on Sports Broadcast Solutions Network.
And Logan, whether it's Wayne Messmer back at the old Blackhawks games or Wrigley Field, or the voice of Jim Cornelison ringing out, sure sounds like hockey in Chicago area over the last 30, 40 years. It's hard to beat that, and it certainly sets the tone for what should be a really fun final game of a long weekend here in Romeoville.
Best in the business, Jimmy Cornelison does it again here at Callan Sports in Romeoville on what is a very chilly Sunday afternoon on Super Bowl Sunday. And we are in store for what should be a pretty entertaining hockey game. Doesn't get much better than this. Hockey and football on Sunday. Can you ask for much more?
I think so. The Super Bowl will be the fourth game that we've watched or worked today. And I'm looking forward to it. But frankly, you know, that's in the future. The present is right now. The present is a fantastic championship game between Affton and Rockford. You know, these players have been looking forward to this date. Both had to do some work this weekend to get here. Neither had an easy trip through pool play, despite being the top-seeded and the second-seeded teams in each of their respective pools. But here we are. It's Affton and Rockford, and take it away, Logan.
Starting goaltenders, real quick. To my right, you're looking at them in red. David Hyatt Jr. in net for the Affton Americans. 18 games played through the regular season. 11-6 was his record. 209 goals against average. 990.3 save percentage. 3 shutouts through regulation for Hyatt, as he gets to look for Jason Carrera and the Affton Americans. On the other side, in the white jersey, is Reagan Rawson. Through 12 appearances in the regular season for him, 12-0 for Rawson, 147 goals against average, 931 save percentage, 3 shutouts for him as well. And what should be a battle of the goaltenders here in Romeoville. We have an early icing call assessed to the Americans. Face off to the left wing side of David Hyatt Jr. Controlled off the draw by Rockford. Right there was Smith. And in the neutral zone, it was Swiss who sent it up to Smith, who sent it in. Chopped that up the far side while it was Duckworth who controlled it into the Rockford zone. Near side corner, it was Molesky. Smith battles away in the neutral zone with Duckworth, but it was Molesky who sticked it out. Here and over the line was Parks, and he took some major contact right there, right at the top of the blue paint. And I imagine this will be the tone for this hockey game. As Tommy mentioned, seeds 1 and 3 after the regular season. Rockford winning both of their regular season tilts. First one all the way back on the 13th of December at Carlson Ice Center in Rockford. That was a 5-2 win for Rockford, and then a 5-3 win followed the next day at Riverview Ice House, home of the Affton Americans. So, neutral game site here in Romeoville. Obviously, the Americans have a little bit further to travel. That one gets chopped at by Hisarich behind the goal. Excellent breakout pass to Duckworth. He feeds it over to Molesky. And fresh off the bench there was Shane Ferbert to send it in. Herrera behind his own goal. Had a power play goal yesterday for the Rockford Hockey Club. But now it's Stumpf. Charging through the neutral zone, ends up just dumping it in. Right there is Matt Monson. And his rink-wide pass fed it to Baganis. Now the Americans. Hopped right over the stick of Santiago Herrera, who gets taken down to the ice in his defensive zone. But now it's Herrera. Cross-ice pass was blocked. Supporting him is Smith. He now gallops through the neutral zone. He's in over the American line, and his snapshot from just inside the blue line is easily handled by Hyatt Jr., and he'll hold on to it. 14:25 left to go in the first period. In to take this draw, it was Chase Johnson for Rockford, but he lost it, and that allowed Hisarich to send it around the goal. Moving back with speed was Liam Swiss, but just wasn't able to get there. Either way, it squeaked over the goal line. That will result in an icing call. Pace of play starting off hot for a couple teams that have played a lot of games in the past couple days. We talked about it in the pregame show, but I think both Rockford and Affton trying to begin this hockey game with a lot of energy. Here come the Americans in over the Rockford line. Holtzman in the near side corner, snapped it up to Noser, but he just couldn't get a shot off, and a penalty has been assessed to the Rockford Hockey Club. Tripping is called on Josh McCowan. And now the Americans with an early try have not been slouching on the penalty, or the power play rather. This regular season ended third in power play percentage, 25%, converting on about a fourth of them. And they're going up against a Rockford penalty kill who led the league through the regular season. 88% of all penalties taken were killed off without issue. And that's part of the reason why you see in that neutral zone, it was Kyle Brown who was right up on the Americans as soon as they got the puck in the neutral zone. That was Noah Trentholm who had it there, but obviously a very aggressive style penalty kill for Rockford here early in this one. That pass hopped right over the stick of Milo Peterson. He's had quite the playoffs for the Americans. Peterson has tied it for first in goals, 4 goals, 2 assists, 6 points in 3 games played for Peterson. Had a couple goals on Friday, actually a hat trick there, one of which was on the power play. That was in their win against the Peoria Mustangs. Now moving with pace is Jason Stumpf. He had the puck taken right off his stick there by Walters. Now Rhea back in his own zone. We'll get it back and snaps a pass across to Parks, who will send it in. On the far side, it's Rhea. From the point, a big shot there from Parker. Duckworth is turned aside by Rawson. Hisarich, Duckworth on the far side, snaps one on goal, and it hit a stick out in front. That was Gavin Brady who blocked that one for Rockford. Hisarich with another try. Had Braden Smith right on him, and really doing a good job is Braden Smith early on the penalty kill to get in the shooting lane and help out Reagan Rawson. Now Rawson will see a face-off to his right wing side. It was one back to Hisarich, but he couldn't knock it down. 23 more seconds of power play time for the Affton Americans. Peterson's pass that was intercepted got sent the length of the ice. In his own zone, Connor Hisarich will get things going. Left it for Bilger. Now here comes Naki into the zone. His shot from the top of the far side circle was patted out by Rawson. He was down in the butterfly and had to kick that right leg out. And with an excellent early save there, this one remains tied. It was Lautner, who got that one going for the Americans. Peterson's into the zone. Spears it around the net. Janaki on the far side. Centering pass. Got blocked. It was Trenholm there who was in the slot. Just wasn't able to cleanly pick up that puck. Peterson had the puck taken away, and Brown will send it in. Out to play it is Hyatt Jr. Here now is Noser, moving with pace over the right wing side of the Rockford line. Deeks pass one. It was Noser, and an excellent defensive stick there from Josh McCowan to break up that play. It was Noser who was moving fast into the offensive zone. And Josh McCowan using his stick here early in the first. 10:43 left to go in the first period. That shot was blockered down by Rawson. Now in the offensive zone, it's Rhea trying to feed it behind the goal, but it could not be caught and ends up getting flung all the way down to the Affton zone for an icing call. Rockford kind of in scramble mode, not the way we expected this hockey game to start. After having a couple successful outings in the regular season against the Americans, obviously Affton having a point to prove here with this hot start. Been playing a lot of hockey in the Rockford zone. Just as I say that, moving with speed is Walters into the Affton zone. His shot is gobbled up by Hyatt, who was pressed up against the far side post. And an excellent try there for Ethan Walters, who had one goal in the last outing against the Americans back in December. Brody Alexander moves to take that draw for Rockford. He ended up losing it, and Bilger sends it around his own goal. Scooped up and out by Milo Peterson. Now Swiss in his own zone. Trying to snap a pass up to Alexander, but he just let it go all the way down. Now it's Trenholm in his own zone. Has to be careful, gave the puck away, and a quick shot there from Aiden Jacques is handled by Hyatt Jr. Very dangerous turnover in the Americans' defensive zone. Bilger sent it up the far side wall, kept it on the point by Jacques. He stick handles it down low now. Alexander got in the way of that breakout pass. It got scooped up, though, the far side wall by Charles Nackey. Now it was Herrera who got the breakout going. Jacques had the pass that was behind Butera, but an excellent puck pickup there through to the neutral zone by Dominic Butera, who had a goal in the third period on Friday in their win against the Comets. Looks to get things going for Rockford here early in this one. Beautiful breakout play there. Will feed Molsky ahead. Into the zone now is Duckworth. Working hard on the forehand. His shot was patted out by Rawson, kind of right into the middle of the slot. But Rockford defense able to clear that one out. McCowan was charging through the neutral zone and ran into a couple bodies. And it was Parks who got in his way, and now Parks in the neutral zone. Sauces it across, it's Molsky in, and he's taken down there by Chase Johnson. But it's now Parks. To the point, it's Ladner. Across it goes, far side. That shot was blocked from Rhea. Now it's Molsky. Stick handles behind the Rockford goal. Sends a pass across to Parks, whose sharp angle shot is punched into the corner by Rawson. Molsky has Has to deal with a couple Rockford players right on him. In to support is Parks, who ends up scooping that puck behind the goal. Parks on the far side collides with Dominic Butera. And the point shot from Maria ended up blocked. Chopped out by Butera for an icing call. Rockford scrambling here as we just cross over the halfway point in this first period. Thoughts on Affton's play, Tommy?
You know, it feels like you're watching two teams that are really trying to still feel each other out a lot, I think. I don't know that I expected that necessarily coming in. These are two teams that are pretty familiar with each other, but that's what I've seen in this first 8-9 minutes here.
Absolutely. I'd say, though, the majority of the higher quality scoring chances have gone the way of the Americans. You see the shots are dead even with 7 minutes left to go in the first period, but I don't know how indicative that is of how this game has been going thus far. It's Herrera in his own zone, far side corner. Has the puck stripped right off his stick and pressed up against the boards behind the Rockford net is Evan Stallman. Swooping in was Herrera, and his cross-ice pass intended for Aiden Jacques hopped right over his stick. On the center line, it's Brown, whose dumping attempt was blocked. And it ended up squeaking over the line. That was whistled down as offside. 6:25 left to go in the first period. We are scoreless through just about 10 minutes of hockey thus far. A lot of goals for both clubs throughout playoffs. 17 total goals scored for the Affton Americans through 3 games played. Now here comes Noser. He's in behind everybody. It's Noser. Big save made by Reagan Rawson on Brendan Noser on the breakaway. And this game remains tied.
That's never a good feeling as a goalie, Logan, when you have a guy coming at you with a full head of steam and nobody within 5 feet of him behind him. But a great job right there by Reagan Rawson to stay calm, right and play in front of the net, and keep that in his glove and not allow a rebound, especially on that.
Absolutely. A wonderful save on Brendan Ozer, who had 1 goal in their win against the Timberwolves yesterday. You can see why he used his speed to get in behind everybody. But Reagan Rawson came out on top. 5:53 left to go in the first period. Charging through the neutral zone was Josh McCowan, and Rockford bench wanted a call. McCowan was taking some hacks and whacks as he dumped that one in. Liam Swiss has to dangle by Peterson, who was in on the forecheck and ends up taking that puck away. But Connor Hisserich sent it across the ice. McCowan backhands that one up the far side wall. Now Hisserich tries to feed it over to Milo Peterson, who ends up kind of just flubbing that one on goal. And Rawson will hold on to it. Face off to the right wing side of Reagan Rawson. Here's Hisserich on the point. Snaps one on goal. Goes right into the catching glove. We'll try again. Best opportunity of the game coming to the Affton Americans. And Rockford would really like to generate something before the end of this first period. Here's Walters into the zone. His snapshot hit a skate out in front and careens into the near side corner. Naki moves in and picks that puck out of there. And ends up sending a rink-wide pass over to Trenholm with a quick shot. That went by the side of the goal. Now it's Brady in over the right wing side of the Americans' blue line, and he'll hold up, wait for his teammates to catch up. Brady's centering pass was broken up there by Trenholm, and then he'll come off for a line change. 4:14 left to go in this first period, as that one is not ruled to be an icing call, much to the chagrin of everyone on the Americans bench. Here in the offensive zone is Butera. Centering pass, and the one-timer was sent just wide. Here now is Parks. Charges up the near wing boards, goes off the glass and in. It's McCowan back to receive in his own zone. A turnover there, centering pass, one-timer save made by Reagan Rawson. Another high-quality chance for the Americans, shut down by the Rockford netminder. This one remains tied. 3:36 left to go in the first period.
And you've seen some really disciplined attacks so far from both teams. Not huge shot on goal numbers, but some really good chances, especially for the Americans, and Rawson up to the challenge so far.
Definitely most of the opportunities going the way of the Affton Americans. They'll see another offensive zone face-off here with just under 3.5 left to go in the first period.
Yeah, and Afton's goalie, David Hyatt, in a outstanding performance on Thursday night. And again, what we said was the game that really put them into this championship, the 5-1 win over Peoria. 26 saves and 27 shots on goal. And that Peoria offense really, just about every bit as tough as Rockford.
Hasn't had to work too hard, though, this game, as Rockford really hasn't generated any high-quality scoring chances. Molsky now sends a pass across the ice. Stick handling into the zone is Blake Parks. Centering pass, stick to side by Rawson. Now it's Molsky. Sends a pass back to Jason Stumpf, who will turn back behind his own goal. Parks. Stumpf didn't like what he saw, banks it behind his net. Right there is Jacques, though, and his shot attempt went right to the stick of Jason Stumpf, who will dump it in. Moving with pace into the zone, there was Furbett for the Americans. He had a goal in the last outing against the Rockford Hockey Club back in December. Still looking for his first point of the playoffs is Shane Furbett. Noser to the point it goes. Hisserich's drive could not be deflected out in front of the goal. Right there was DeGrief, but he just couldn't get a stick on it. Here comes Brody Alexander. Had his breakout pass shut down. Now it's Brady into the zone. Far side snapshot is patted into the corner by Hyatt Jr. Noser fanned on the clearing attempt. That allowed Alexander to send it around the goal. Far side, it's Stallman now. His clearing attempt couldn't get out. And the Rockford Hockey Club will score! It was Gavin Brady who got the puck between the top of the circles at the GWG last time these two teams met, and gets Rockford on the board here in the first period. And obviously a couple Americans players just outside your frame there to the right, having some questions for the referee. Not not going to matter. Puck is dropped. And Rockford's ahead 1-0. Now in over the line is Brady. Gets sent across the ice and slapped in by Trenholm. Swiss now has a breakout pass that was meant for Brady. Supporting him is Walters. They're into the zone. It's Walters. Centering pass is blocked by Hyatt Jr., who is down in the butterfly on the ice. And emotions running high here in the first period with 66 seconds left to go. Face off to the left wing side of David Hyatt Jr. It's Valentino in there to take it for Rockford, and he lost it. But it's kept in on the far side by Monson. Behind the net, centering pass. Out in front of the goal there was Dominic Valentino, who was all tangled up. With some excellent body position by the Americans out of the top of their own crease. Big body check thrown there by Dominic Valentino in the near side corner. Now Bilger has a rink-wide pass intended for Sparks. But now it was Duckworth snapping it in. 21 seconds left to go in the first period. Major physical contact near side by Duckworth. It's McCowan. A pass was snapped up to Metcalf and sent the length of the ice for an icing call. .3 seconds left to go in the first period. Rockford up 1-0. Face off to the right wing side of Rawson. One into the corner, and on the point is Stump. His drive is blocked out in front of the cage. On the point, another drive from Rhea is blocked, and that will run out the clock. And some extracurriculars there as the horn sounds. But through 17 minutes of hockey, the Rockford Hockey Club will take a 1-goal lead into this first intermission. While they decide what the penalties we'll step out and be back in just a couple minutes for period number 2. You're watching the CSDHL Championship matchup right here live on Sports Broadcast Solutions Network.
Home is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones, expanding your horizons, or simply living the life you love. With all you have to protect, choose insurance you can count on, so you can experience more of what you live for. Country Financial. Experience more.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000.
We welcome you back inside Callan Sports in Romeoville. At the end of that, it looks like the Americans will start period number 2 with a power play, a little extracurricular action as the horn sounded just in front of Reagan Rawson and the Rockford goal. But a huge opportunity now to start off the second for the Affton Americans to tie things up. Puck is dropped and sent all the way down. Walters in the offensive zone, keeping it active. .25% through the regular season on the power play for the Affton Americans. Now here's Walters spearing it in. Right there is Hisarich, who took some major contact from Walters. Across the ice, it's sent. Here comes Nacky. He's in over the right wing side of the Rockford blue line. Holds up, sauces a pass across the ice. It's Bilger now. Down low it goes to Noser. Bilger on the point. Shoots it, and it was sent just wide. Nacky, pass across, shot. Tried to go right upstairs, but ended up just sending it just high. It was Milo Peterson who was down at the bottom of the far side circle. And moving from left to right was Reagan Rawson there, and ended up kicking the net off in the process. But another semi-okay opportunity for the Affton Americans here early in the second.
This is an Affton team that was 25% in the regular season on the power play, so right up there with the league leaders, if not quite where Rockford was at. Rockford 88% on the kill.
No strangers to playing on special teams are either of these hockey clubs. As Stumfelmotor into the right wing side of the Rockford line, and his snapshot got blocked out in front by Brown. Now it's the Americans. 30 more seconds of power play time. Near side, Ria's shot goes in and out of the glove of Rawson. It sat there, but it was Reagan Rawson who was able to gather that one into himself for a whistle. .6:59 left in the first half of period number 2. On your screen, you see there's 15:29 left to go, or 15:29 left to go in the second period as a whole. We'll have a halftime here in the championship game on Sunday. But it's still 25 more seconds of power play time for the Americans. Out to play it is Hyatt Jr. Sends it up the far side wall to Stumpf. Chooses to dump it in, ring it around to McCowan on the near side. And it was Herrera who took the 9-iron out of the golf bag and chopped that one all the way down. Penalty over. We're back playing 5-on-5 hockey. Another unsuccessful power play attempt for the Affton Americans. Parks will send that one in on goal. And it was Rawson who didn't like what he saw, so he'll hold on to it. .6:18 left to go in the first half of period 2. Face off to the left wing side of Reagan Rawson. One back into the corner, but it was Stallman who controlled. He's got it now far side below the goal line. On the point, it was snapped towards the net, but it's DeGrief controlling far side corner. There's Smith, who turned it over in his own defensive zone to Stallman. Now Smith slaps it up the far side glass, and it was kept in on the point there by Hisarich. Rockford seemingly in scramble mode here to start off period number 2. With that early power play for the Affton Americans, it hasn't really allowed Rockford to set up at all in the offensive zone. They did a good job killing off that first penalty, or that second penalty rather, to the Affton Americans. Rockford Hockey Club now controls in their own defensive zone. Turnover was forced there, but it got scooped out by Herrera. It was Brady who dished it over to Walters, who threw it on goal, but not a problem at all for Hyatt Jr. Ethan Walters for this Rockford Hockey Club has had a pretty successful go at it in this playoff run. Tied for first in goals in the playoffs. 4 goals, 3 assists, 7 points in 3 games played for Ethan Walters. That was kind of culminated yesterday when he had the game-winning goal against the Blackbirds in the 3rd period. Got a penalty now coming up to the Americans. Out in front of the goal, it was Ethan Walters who was all tangled up and taken down. By Augustus Bilger. And now Rockford with a power play opportunity of their own. Really strong through the regular season, ended first in power play percentage. This Rockford Hockey Club did just about 29%, 28.7% on all their tries they had during the regular season. And they're going up against an Americans penalty kill. That ended pretty strong, 85.7%. They ended 3rd in the league. And now it's Rockford going to work on the power play. Herrera tried to snap a pass down low to Jacques, but it never made it there. Near side, Herrera battles away. In to support him was Brody Alexander, who will scoop up and still hammering away in the near side corner. Rockford end was Naki and Herrera. But now McCowan in the offensive zone. Backing to the middle, his shot was blocked. Rebound to Jacques, and the centering pass intended for Brody kind of slapped right off his stick. McCowan with a drive from the point. It's Smith now near side corner. Across Jacques' far side half wall to the middle, and the tip attempt rather by Brody Alexander was turned aside by Hyatt Jr. Braden Smith, near side corner, 51 more seconds of power play time. Behind the net, Jacques got options to the point. To the middle it goes. And ends up bouncing near side corner. Smith to the point. It's Herrera. Across it sent McCowan. Near side, Smith in the corner. Had it slapped away, and it could not be kept in by Lucas Herrera, and that'll allow the Americans to get a line change. Here now is Hisarich. Snaps one on goal. That's blockered down by Rawson. Once again, Hisarich in the neutral zone. Will dump it in. 3:11 left to go in the second. Only 10 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. It's Herrera in his own zone. Penalty over. Unsuccessful power play attempt for Rockford. Herrera will dump it in. Right there to receive is Ethan Walters near side. Butera behind the net. Ended up falling down on the play. And that allowed Stump to skate it out. Back to receive in his own zone is Herrera. Had it taken away by Duckworth, who's working hard behind the net. And he wanted Landner on the far side, but just couldn't get him the puck. Now it's Herrera in the Rockford zone. Pass was behind Bagnus. Stump rifles a pass across the ice, looking for Duckworth with that breakout pass, but it was out of his reach and will end up going all the way down for an icing call. 2:06 left to go in the second period. Neither team willing to give an inch here after Gavin Brady opened the scoring for this Rockford Hockey Club. Gets sent around the net. Hisarich down below the goal line. He's got Butera right on him. Ends up pulling that puck out of there. It's Butera. Now in the middle of the ice, Johnson with a drive that ended up getting blocked by Bilger. And now Naki gives and go with Duckworth and ends up bouncing over to Rawson, who had to make an up-high save out of the top of the blue paint. Rawson has done well throughout the course of this hockey game, standing tall in that for Rockford. He's coming in relief of Logan Tomanero, who played in their win yesterday. And played really well yesterday, in fact. Had 17 saves in that tilt in the win against the Blackbirds. Herrera on the point, scoops it down low. It's Butera with a centering attempt that was broken up by Naki. He now gallops through the neutral zone in over the right wing side of the Rockford line. Snaps it down below the goal to Peterson. And on the point, Stumpf controls. Wrist shot is paddled into the corner by Rawson. Peterson now working hard in the offensive zone. Ends up getting slapped out by Smith. And now Swiss. A centering pass was intended for Naki, but never made it to him. Rifled in by Milo Peterson. Will come off for a line change in his own zone now. It's controlled by Herrera. Pass up was sticked up by Butera. Now moving with pace is to Grief. He's on his forehand far side, turns, fires it, and down in the butterfly to make that save was Rawson, and he ends up holding on to it. 20.3 seconds left to go in the first half of period 2. Rockford still looking to respond to Gavin Brady's goal. Alexander lost that faceoff for Rockford, and that allowed Trenholm to get a quick shot. Speared up the far side wall. Here's Brady. One goal already today. Mishandled it near side. A centering pass is sent across to Brody Alexander, but in the way was David Hyatt to keep that one out of the goal. David Hyatt Jr. doing an excellent job recovering after being scored on. Face-off near wing dot. The snap towards the goal there by Walters, but never made it there. And the horn will sound, ending the first half of period number 2 here at Callan Sports in Romeoville. Through half this hockey game, can't really say that too often here for hockey, that we have a stoppage exactly halfway through the hockey game. But as the teams exit the ice surface, it's been the Affton Americans who have really controlled through the latter half of that first half of the second period, if that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense to me, because when you asked me what I thought of that first half, I was going to say that Affton has really controlled the pace of play over the last 10 minutes. So we're on the same page there, at least thought-wise, Logan. And it's not really what you see on the scoreboard, but yeah, quite a few good scoring chances generated by Affton, and that goes back to the opening minutes of the game. What we've seen in the last few minutes, I think we're in for a really interesting, probably physical, and maybe a little tense final 25.5 minutes here coming up.
Emotions running on high. We'll step out while the Zamboni does its thing, and we'll see the second half of period 2 and then period 3 right here at Callan Sports in Romeoville. You're watching the CSDHL championship matchup right here live on the Sports Broadcast Solutions Network.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it. You will know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you're Gormisan.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for. And we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family. Visit afsusa.com.
Is more than a place. It's full of the people and moments that matter most. Providing for loved ones. Expanding horizons. Or simply living the life you love. With all you have to do, choose insurance you can count on. So here's the reason if you like your family.
Sure, my family loves me. They bought me this sweet new collar. My dog bowl is always full of Fido's finest. Heck, they even take care of the personal stuff on my walk. Come on, who does that? But what really sealed the deal for me was when they installed a security system from Forest Security. Hey, I'm no watchdog, you know? Forest Security offers the latest in technology and security for our home. Yeah, I'm pretty good at keeping an eye on things, but I also have stuff to do, like sleep and socialize. A smart security system can provide around-the-clock awareness and generate instant smartphone alerts. They let the family know if something is wrong or suspicious. They do all of the work for us, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what they say, you can't trust a dog to watch your house or your sandwich. Call Forest Security today.
Call us today at 708-452-2000 or visit forestsecurity.com.
Welcome back inside Canlan Sports here in Romeoville, Illinois. It is a beautiful winter day for hockey, Logan. We have one half of one championship game remaining, and as we wait for the Zamboni to finish its work traversing its way around the ice here in Romeoville, we're going to take a look at how we got to where we are this weekend. We already talked a little bit, you did in the pregame, about the regular season. Rockford, the number 1 seed coming into the playoffs. Affton, the number 3 seed. 47 points for Rockford to top the table with a record of 23 wins, 2 losses, and 1 overtime loss. Affton 18-7-0-1. Peoria, of course, finishing in between them, and Affton able to knock them off on Thursday.
Absolutely, and I mean, no surprise just looking at how these teams finish in the regular season that Rockford is ahead in this one, but that's not really indicative of the play we saw in the first half of that second period. You know, Affton really, I felt, controlled pace of play and had the majority of those chances, but we don't see them on this list right now. But both teams really have had a tough weekend of matchups here throughout the course of these playoffs.
Yeah, they have, and if we look at bracket 1, which again contained the 1, 4, 5, and 8 seeds coming into the playoffs, these are the results from Friday and Saturday, specifically looking at Rockford for our current audience, of course. A 6-3 victory over the Comets on Friday evening, and then a fairly easy dispatching of the Jaguars 7-2 before what was probably the best hockey game we saw here at Canlan yesterday. A narrow 3-2 victory over the Midwest Blackbirds. That one was very much in doubt until the late stages of the game. So that left us then with bracket 2, which featured, of course, Affton. And as that comes up here, you see the Leafs and Timberwolves opened play on Thursday night, but then Affton had a 5-1 victory over Peoria on Friday, and a couple of easier victories to a degree yesterday. A 5-3 over the Leafs, 7-4 over the Timberwolves. Both of those teams certainly hung around with the Americans, but you got to figure if you're Afton's coaching staff coming into the weekend, that Peoria game was the one you had circled on the calendar.
Absolutely. I mean, that was the big upset moving into the championship today. Rockford number 1, Peoria number 2, Affton number 3 at the end of regular season play. But Tommy, I mean, you look at those games that we just looked at, all the scores, and a lot of goals being scored from both sides. We mentioned it earlier, 16 goals scored for Rockford just throughout the playoffs, 17 for Affton, and through, we'll call it a period and a half, there's only 1 goal in this hockey game. Not really surprising, just based on these teams' history. Like you said, both really strong hockey clubs. And, I mean, you looking at the bracket 1 leaderboard there, Rockford 3-0 on the playoff run this weekend, I should say.
Yeah, we are just about set to resume action here as the last couple players still emerging from the Affton locker room. But any adjustments you'd like to see here in the second half, Logan?
I mean, Affton just have to keep their foot down on the gas pedal. They created the majority of those scoring chances, you see the shots on goal thus far, 17-14 in favor of the Americans. You know, they just have to be able to play in the offensive zone, create time and space. I mean, it's simple hockey. Pucks on net, pucks down low. If Affton's playing in the offensive zone, it's really hard for Rockford to score 200 feet on the other side of the ice. So if you're Affton, you can't be frustrated. I'm sure that was the message that was given from head coach Jason Carrera in the locker room just now, but you can't be frustrated. Keep your head up high, keep your foot down on the gas pedal, and the score will come.
Yeah, there's some games you can head into the locker room down 1-0, feeling like you're down 4 or 5-0. This is not that game. This is a game that either team could be up 1-0, could be 1-1 right now. And we have 25 and a half minutes left to determine a winner, and take it away.
After that intermission, it will be the Rockford Hockey Club who are up by 1. And right at kind of the end there, and the first half of the second period, it was the Americans controlling place of play. Here comes Noser into the zone. His forehand shot is patted into the corner by Rawson. Then an early opportunity after the intermission from Affton. Chopped out by Walters. He's engaged in battle right in front of the Rockford bench with Hisarich. As that one got lofted across, it's Peterson snapping it in. He's in on the forecheck to receive his own dump-in attempt as that centering pass went off a skate. That was McCowan out in front and kind of skeetered through the blue paint there. Now in the neutral zone, it's Affton. Hisarich dumps that one in. Controlled by McCowan near side. It's sent across the ice. Now Brady, lone goal scorer today for the Rockford Hockey Club, has the puck stripped away by Duckworth. And an excellent diving keep in there from Liam Swift on the Affton blue line. Bilger. A couple give-and-go passes there with Parks. And in the middle of the ice, he was kicked ahead by Jacques. Wrapped around the Rockford goal, near side corner. It is found by Molsky. Helping him out is Bilger. Gloved ahead. Here's Herrera. Skating width-wise across the ice. Ended up mishandling it. And now Duckworth. Left it in the middle. Down it goes, and a save is made by Reagan Rawson. That's exactly what you want to see if you're the Affton Americans here in this second period. Absolutely peppering Reagan Rawson. Smith snaps a pass up. Here's Herrera through the neutral zone. He'll end up flinging that towards the goal. And it's played quickly up by Hyatt Jr. Breakout pass was intended for Smith, who was standing on the Americans' blue line, but just couldn't knock it down, so that will result in an icing call. 5:52 left to go in this second period. Face off to the right wing side of Reagan Rawson. Chase Johnson moves in to take it for Rockford. Regular season, had a pretty good regular season. 22 games played, 8 goals, 2 assists for Chase Johnson. 10 total points through 22 games played. Just looking at a solo assist here through the playoffs. As that one gets sent back by Nacky. He's got it back now in his own zone, looking across the ice. It gets slapped in by Peterson. In on the forecheck is Trenholm. Sends it towards the middle, but it was corralled by Butera. He stick handles and dumps it in as he crossed over the red line. Butera battles away near side corner. It was Hisarich coming away with that puck. And Butera slapped it down low. It was Bagnus who Had a drive. Here's Herrera from the point. Deflected out in front by Baganis. And another try for Rockford. A third try is saved by Hyatt Jr. Here's Herrera. It's Butera. And the puck corralled by Hyatt Jr. And some more extracurriculars in the American zone. First high-quality chances for Rockford in quite some time. Obviously, emotions continue to run high as we approach the end of period number 2. A penalty was assessed, though, to the Affton Americans. It was Charles Nacky who was assessed 2 minutes for cross-checking. And if you're the Affton Americans, not the start to the second half of this hockey game that you were looking for, Tommy.
No, they had a couple good chances right away, but other than that, this has been all Rockford, and now all of a sudden you've got a 5-on-4 for the next 2 minutes, and Rockford with a great chance here to try to jump out to a 2-0 lead.
That one gets clear the length of the ice. 10 seconds gone on the Rockford power play. If you're Rockford and have kind of been slacking in the offensive opportunity department throughout this hockey game, would like to get a couple more chances at least in the offensive zone. You've got a minute and a half more power play time. On the point, it's Herrera. Snaps it down low, it's Jacques. Centering pass intended for Smith, who was standing on the near side goal line, but just couldn't settle the puck down as it gets slapped all the way out by Stumpf. McCowan seamlessly will skate that one in over the left wing side of the Affton blue line and ends up just kind of throwing it on goal for an easy glove save to be made by David Hyatt Jr. 3:36 left to go in this second period. 56 more seconds on the cross-checking penalty that was assessed to Charles Nacky. You're the Americans. Nacky's not a guy you like seeing sit in the penalty box. Had a shorthanded goal yesterday morning in their 5-3 win against the Leafs. One of the more noted penalty killers for this Affton Americans hockey club. Near side, McCowan. Umbrella-style power play. It gets sent down into the corner. It's Brady. His centering attempt was blocked. On the point now, it's McCowan. Hesitates, down low, Brady. McCowan on the top of the point. Brady near side half wall. McCowan across it's sent. Here's Walters. Herrera. Snapshot is sent just wide. Brady slaps it out in front. And an excellent clear there by Molsky. Here comes Johnson with speed in over the American blue line. Penalty over. Back playing 5-on-5 hockey. It's Herrera from the point. And that one got deflected just wide. McCowan from the point. Johnson turns around and fires, but it went up off a stick and out of play. Big clear. Couple clears there on that penalty kill for the Affton Americans. More importantly, though, they'd love to take some momentum away from that penalty kill against the #1 power play in the league after the regular season.
Yeah, Affton killed 86% during the regular season, but that's got to be one of their biggest kills of the year right there. You don't want to fall behind 2-0 to a really talented Rockford team in a game that has been played as tightly and as tensely as this one over the last several minutes.
And a goal! Just just like that, the Affton Americans find the response. And Milo Peterson is fired up. That whole play started, though, on that rush because Brayton Oser was moving with purpose through the neutral zone, forced that one in over the Rockford blue line, and was able to find Peterson all alone in the middle of the ice. This game is tied with 2:05 left to go in the second period. And now another penalty. It will be Rockford going back to the power play. A very untimely penalty for the Affton Americans right after scoring that tying goal. Interference has been called on Tyler DeGrief. And now an even bigger opportunity for this Rockford Hockey Club. Here comes Duckworth. Mishandled it through the neutral zone. Otherwise, they would have been moving in 2-on-1. And now behind the net, it's Herrera. Gaining speed, he's charges through the neutral zone and had the puck taken right off his stick by Parker Duckworth, who sends it the length of the ice. First overall power play percentage for Rockford after the regular season. Hisarich in his own zone with another excellent clear on the kill. Gets sent up the far side wall by Rawson. Now stripping it, here's Peterson. Snaps one on goal, and a shoulder save was made by Rawson. He didn't know where it was. Puck flew way up in the air, and it ended up being gloved down by the defenseman. Another grade A chance on the, while shorthanded for the Affton Americans. 45 seconds left to go in period number 2. Falling down, here comes Noser. He's in behind everybody. Noser mishandled it. Very unfortunate turnover just outside the blue line for Rockford. Now it's Smith in front. His shot is saved by Hyatt Jr. And some high quality chances going both ways here towards the end of period number 2. Still 21 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. 24 seconds left in the second. In to take this face-off is Brody Alexander, who had a power play goal in the third period yesterday in their win against the Jaguars. Walters near side, snaps one on goal, and down on one knee to block it was Chase Rhea. Alexander near side corner, centers it, and it was Ethan Walters who was right there, but just wasn't ready for that pass. And through 2 periods, we are tied. A couple big kills in that second period for the Affton Americans, and after the first one, we're able to pot it in the back of the goal to tie things up, and we should be in store for a pretty entertaining third period. We'll get that in just a couple minutes. We will step out. You're watching CSDHL hockey right here live on the Sports Broadcast Solutions Network.
Before you know it, you'll know my name and how to pronounce it.
You'll know the meaning of ขอบคุณค่ะ
Before you know it, you'll call me son.
You call me daughter.
You call me brother.
You call us sisters. Your family will make a difference in how America is perceived and what America stands for. and we invite you to welcome an exchange student like me to your home and your family.
For over 70 years, AFS USA has brought exchange students from around the world to study in the U.S. and live with an American family for a school year, semester, or 6 to 12 weeks. Before you know it, you'll be a proud AFS host family. Visit afsusa.org.
After a quick pause for the intermission, one has to think that an onslaught of offensive opportunities are coming the way of the Affton Americans by this Rockford Hockey Club.
I think that's true. I think we're really in for a barn burner of a third period here. There's 17 minutes on the clock. And what we've said, it could have been a tie game for any number of this time so far. Now it is. And Logan, you got the play-by-play for us as we take it home.
At this point, it's whoever wants it more. Been pretty even in terms of opportunities this game. 23 to 20 are the shots you see on your screen right now. And it comes down to one period. Here come the Americans in over the line. It was a pass intended for Milo Peterson, but now McCowan in his own zone is able to pull it together and send it up to Walters. But he ran right into Augustus Bilger, who will send it out. Noser. And up behind the play, it was Ethan Walters with a butt end. Butt ending is called on Ethan Walters, the Americans player who was down. Walters took the knob of his stick and thrusted it right down into the head. That's an automatic 5-minute major and a game misconduct.
Yeah, and I wasn't sure for a second if any of the officials had seen that. It was well behind the play. The whistle came a couple seconds after it happened. It was clear as day. There was no question about the call, and there was no question that everyone on the Affton bench saw it. But for a second there with no whistle, I was wondering if anybody else had. Sure enough, the whistle came a second later from all the way down the ice from the official who was actually assigned to look that way.
It was Dan Rack, the referee in the far side corner, with the call. I think everyone in the building saw that one, as you said, Tommy. And I mean, talk about mother of all opportunities here for the Affton Americans. A 5-minute power play. They can score as many goals as they want. As they go to work now, it's Hisarich, near side, half wall, tried to snap it towards the goal, but ran right into Swiss. They are tangled up now near side corner. Ria's there to try to pull it out, but supporting Rockford was Johnson. Now he moves and chips it in to the Affton zone. It's been a couple times this hockey game where we've seen players behind the play get tangled up, but I mean, just not a good decision by Ethan Walters to take that penalty. Has been one of the leaders for this Rockford team, tied for first in goals in the playoffs. He was second in goals after the regular season, second in assists as well. First in total points was Ethan Walters after regular season play. And a huge loss for Rockford in this third period. Still 4 minutes of power play time for the Americans. 15:08 left to go in the third. Picked up in the offensive zone, Peterson. Snaps a pass across the ice. Intended for Noser, but he was all tied up. And that one gets slapped all the way out by Brody Alexander. Naki dishes it up to Peterson. But recovering was Brady, who sends it all the way down. Not the best power play so far from the Affton Americans. have had almost a full 2 minutes and really haven't been able to control very much in the offensive zone. Here's Noser moving in on his forehand, tries to throw it on goal, but it was blocked. Every pass, and they score! It was Noser once again doing the work in the offensive zone. Gets it back, slaps it over to Charles Nacky in the middle of the ice. And the Affton Americans are up by 1. Still on the power play after scoring that goal. As I said, they can score as many times as they want. They look to get some insurance here with 14:07 left to go in the third period. Hisarich moving in over the left wing side of the Rockford line. It's Molsky into support, but it got speared out. Bilger up the near side wall. Pass intended for Trenholm. And he has a big shoulder there on Santiago Herrera. But now Hisarich to the far side is sent and deflected out in front there by Molsky. Now Hisarich on the point. Slaps one toward the goal, and it went up off the head of Santiago Herrera and out of play. 2:27 left on the major penalty. Assessed to Ethan Walters. It's being served by Dominic Valentino for this Rockford Hockey Club. As it was Duckworth working hard in the slot, turned around and shot it on goal. Reagan Rawson made the save. The Affton Americans really have had the advantage for scoring chances throughout this hockey game. I mean, the shots 24-20 thus far. I'd say just as well as scoring chances, high quality ones at that, also in favor of the Affton Americans. 13:18 left to go in the third period, 2:13 left on their power play. Controlled off the draw. Here's Hisarich on the near side point. Dishes it down to Peterson. Now Hisarich on the point. Across it's sent to Bilger, and the save was made by Rawson. Out in front of the goal right there. It goes off the left post. It was Noser on the far side who sent it through the blue paint and off the near side post. A huge clear finally for McCowan. And Braden Noser making his presence felt on the ice, and a big hit behind the goal will put Santiago Herrera right on his wallet. Sent up and out by Brody Alexander. Still a minute 20 of power play time for the Americans. Here now is Noser. The major factor in both goals thus far. It was stumped with a drive that went in and out of the glove of Rawson, but he was able to corral it and cover up. DeGreef moves in to take this draw for the Affton Americans. He had a goal last time these two teams met back in December. On the point is thrown towards the goal by Rhea, and it ended up getting slapped all the way out by Alexander. 40 seconds left of power play time for the Americans. At least one more rush for them. Quarterbacking will be Duckworth. Rink-wide pass. It's sent over to Rhea. He's in over the right wing side of the Rockford line. Sent back. Centering pass was meant for Duckworth, I believe, and the whistle goes. And not maybe off its moorings or a player in the crease. Either way, we'll see a neutral zone face-off coming up with 20 seconds left of power play time for the Americans. Snapped across here. Trenhold with a drive that was patted aside by Rawson. Now in the neutral zone, it's Ladner. Banks a pass up the far side. A penalty over. Brady's into the zone. His forehand, and that one's shouldered down by Hyatt Jr. Finally able to kill off the rest of that penalty. Now it's sent up by Ladner. Trenholm will send that one in, and that one got blockered up into the protective netting by Rawson.
You know, we talked so much, Logan, at our last couple breaks about how even though Rockford had a 1-0 lead, this game really felt like the Americans controlled a lot of the pace. And penalty and 5-minute power play aside, that is how this first 6 minutes of the third period has played out.
Absolutely. And, you know, Affton has something to prove, not beating this Rockford Hockey Club a single time this season. Obviously, coming out of the gate hot. As now in the offensive zone. It was Peterson, but it gets sent back. Stumpf in his own zone. Now it's Nacky. Scooped up by Bilger. And that will be ruled as an icing call. As we approach the 10-minute mark in period number 3. Rockford looking to pull something out of the bag and respond to 2 goals in a row on the other side. In the middle, it could not be found by Herrera. Far side corner is Jacques. Now it's Swiss. His pass got sent up to Jacques. He's in on his forehand, top of the circle. Pass across intended for Smith. Just couldn't find it. He was looking at a wide open goal. And once again, gets sent down for an icing call. Now, if you're the Americans, number one priority in the defensive zone is high and hard off the glass. Get that puck out of there. Really hard to score when you're playing 200 feet away from your own goal. And I love to see Rockford set up in the offensive zone and take some time off the clock. They've really done a good job of that throughout the course of this hockey game, but ever since that extended power play expired, it's been a lot of Rockford controlling things. Monson sends it up the far side wall. Couldn't be stick down by DeGrief. And now DeGrief will take a penalty behind the play, slash the stick out of the hands of Aiden Jacques. And a very untimely penalty for DeGrief and the Affton Americans. Obviously frustrated is Tyler DeGrief, who's had a pretty good run this playoffs. 1 goal, 1 assist through the previous 3 games for DeGrief. But off the draw, it's Rockford. Herrera on the point. Near side, McCowan. We'll come back to him. Far side, Herrera. Sent down low to Smith. Herrera on the point. McCowan near side. Got Smith on the far side. Feeds him, but couldn't find the pass. And that allows it to get slapped all the way out. Talked about it many times. Rockford with a really strong power play throughout the regular season. As that one gets cleared at once again the length of the ice. Puck hopped right over the stick of Smith. And that allows Rhea to slow it down behind his own net. Ended up sending that right out of play into the protective netting in front of the Affton fan section here at Camlin Sports in Romeoville. And now a defensive zone face-off coming up for the Americans. To the right wing side of Hyatt Jr. It's controlled by Rockford. Here's McCowan near side, and an excellent diving play there from Milo Peterson to block that shot. Here comes Peterson now. Snaps one towards the net. And that one ended up right in the glove of Rawson, who will hold on to it. Milo Peterson, though, willing to give up everything. Diving in his defensive zone, has one goal today for the Americans and has played really well, Tommy.
Yeah, that's the kind of play that you love to see from the bench, especially with 8 minutes to go in a championship game, knowing that you're laying everything out there on the line to try to pick up your teammate who's in the box.
43 more seconds of power play time for Rockford, and an excellent defensive stick there from Stump will shut that drive down. It's backhanded in by Charles Naki. He's the other goal scorer for the Americans this afternoon. Here's Herrera. Santiago Herrera will send it up far side. It's Butera now. Butera. Give and go on the point. And they put back try to give it back to Gavin Brady, who's the lone goal scorer for Rockford. Penalty over, 5-on-5 hockey. In the offensive zone, it's Butera to the middle, and it was fanned on by Chase Johnson, but it's still Rockford controlling. Johnson centering pass was out of the reach of Louis Beganis, and it's forced out of the zone there by an excellent stick from Blake Parks. In his own zone, it was Hisarich, sent it across the ice. A pass maybe intended for Brayden Molsky, but it was out of his reach, and we'll go all the way down for an icing call. Brayden Molsky been quiet for a lot of this hockey game. He's tied for first in goals throughout these playoffs. 4 goals through 3 games played. Had a goal yesterday in the third in their win against the Leafs. And then ended up having a hat trick against the Timberwolves yesterday afternoon. So I'm sure Molsky would love to get another one here against Rockford with 6.5 minutes left to go in the third period. Here now is Molsky into the zone on his forehand. Stick handles by one. It's Molsky to the forehand, and its save is made by Rawson. Grade A chance for Molsky right there, but Reagan Rawson had his number. Smith moving back the other way. A pass to the middle is dished to Jacques, and he's rode off the puck in the corner by Stump. To the middle, it was Smith with a drive that was blocked. Now Alexander. Near side, it's sent to Brown. He throws one towards the net, and it will be gathered in by David Hyatt Jr., who will cover up. Under 6 minutes left to go in this third period. We'll keep an eye to our left-hand side and see how aggressive Rockford gets in pulling Reagan Rawson as they control it off the draw. It was McCowan with the drive that was sent just wide. Now Johnson in the far side corner. Actually had it taken away, moving with pace the other way is DeGrief, who fanned on the centering pass. Now it's Brady moving back the other way. They're in 2-on-2. To the middle it's sent, and it was Herrera who Kind of had his stick lifted, and it will end up trickling over to Hyatt Jr., who will hold on. At this point, as I said when we started period number 3, it comes down to who wants it more. And in this third period, it's been Affton who's wanted it more. Still 5:13 left to go in the third period. On the point is Herrera. Dangles it down low. Has the option for McCowan down low. And he'll get it over to him. McCowan now on his backhand centering pass. One-timer goes by the side of the goal and gets sent up and out by Bilger. Near side, Stumpf couldn't control. McCowan now moving down low from the point. It's McCowan centering pass, and it was fanned on by Brady. And a slap shot from the far side point by Chase Johnson was tracked through traffic by Hyatt Jr. for a big save.
Yeah, and Hyatt once again has been very much up to the task of facing a daunting offensive attack today. The one early goal out, and he has been rock solid the entire game.
27 played yesterday and had 27 saves in their win against the Timberwolves. Or that was Whitler anyway who played yesterday, but Hyatt Jr. doing a good job today. Off the ice is Rawson, extra attacker for Rockford, and a penalty now has been called. A power play coming up for the Rockford Hockey Club as they choose to take their timeout. It will be Evan Stallman taking a seat. Hooking was the call by the trailing referee, and Tommy, a huge opportunity coming up now for this Rockford Hockey Club on the power play.
Yeah, this is their moment right here. By far led the league with 80 power play opportunities on the year and 23 goals with the man advantage. No other club had more than 15 power play goals. 29% efficiency for Rockford. We've talked about a couple of those stats a couple times throughout the night, but certainly bears repeating when we're looking at, 4 minutes and 22 seconds to go. Up to close to half of that time could be spent on the power play for Rockford. Do you think they try to play for a 6-on-4 here at all and pull the goalie, or do you think they play a little more conservative?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we saw it was Rawson coming off the ice already when that penalty was being assessed. So not sure if that was just because of the delayed penalty or if because they're down by 1 with less than 5 minutes left to go in this hockey game. But Rawson will start in that to our left-hand side. They'll go 5-on-4 to start off this power play.
Yeah, if I'm Rockford, I have a lot of faith in my ability to try to get a couple good shots on net here. Up 5-4, but you got to think maybe it gets tempting in that second minute if they haven't scored till then.
Oh, absolutely. We'll see what happens, though. That one's kept in by McCowan. No, it wasn't.
Yeah, that's one of those moments where you're looking right down the blue line from the Affton bench. You see it go out, and you hope the official on the line is going to see it too, and they did.
One of the few times that the fan section applauds a decision made by the referees, or linesmen in this case. So, always love to give the men and women in black and white stripes a shout out, being an official myself for about past 13 years. The task at hand, though, Rockford needs to score 1 to tie it up. They're in the offensive zone now. It's McCowan near side point. Sent down low to the middle, and it was intercepted there and sent the length of the ice by Bilger. Here now is charging through the neutral zone. McCowan is in on his backhand. Had to deal with Nacky, who was all over him. Now near side is Jacques. Looking for the far side. It was Smith who was open towards the bottom of the far side circle, but the pass was intercepted. Half this power play gone for Rockford. And now Reagan Rawson has iced the puck. He was trying to get a fast break going the other way. And an offensive zone draw now coming up for the Affton Americans with 3:14 left to go in the third period, 52 more seconds of power play time for Rockford. Herrera near side. Behind the net, sent to Lucas Herrera. Excellent back check there from DeGrief. In the middle, it's Herrera. Walks, fires it, and a save is made by Hyatt Jr. Far side, it's backhanded up and out by DeGrief. 28 seconds still of power play time. An offensive zone turnover is forced there by Noah Trenholm, who is working hard on the penalty kill. And will come off for a line change, but or rather not, another defensive opportunity there for Trenholm. As that penalty is over, a successful clear for the Affton Americans. Fresh out of the box is Noser. He's motoring in over the right wing side of the Rockford line. It's Noser in behind everybody on the backhand. And what a save made by Reagan Rawson on Braden Noser, fresh out of the penalty box, who's been a major factor in both the Affton American goals this afternoon. As Rawson makes another save there, standing tall in this third period. Penalty coming up to Rockford. Extra attacker out there for the Americans, far side on the dot. Here's Parks. Hisarich on the point. To the middle, it's sent Duckworth. Scoops it down low, minute and a half left to go in the third period. Near side Parks has Hisarich on the point. Across it goes, it's Duckworth. Wines, fires, and it was deflected just wide. It's still the Americans with the puck. Controlled behind the goal, it was Peterson. Now on the point, Duckworth has it. Down low, it's snapped to Peterson. Sent behind the goal, and finally Rockford able to touch up. And a humongous opportunity incoming for the Affton Americans.
Yeah, and really a double-edged sword there, because not only do you get you on the power play, but you're taking away Rockford's ability to pull the goalie. So you have essentially almost shifted two attackers in the other direction in a game where you know Rockford is desperate to try to chuck some pucks at the net with 1:10 to play.
I wouldn't discount their ability to pull the goalie on the penalty kill. I mean, this is it. This is what you've been playing for all season long. This is a must-win game to win this championship. And I mean, if I'm standing on the Rockford bench, I'm pulling that goalie as soon as we can control the puck in the offensive zone. You got to put one in the next 63 seconds. Here now, Peterson controls. He'll skate it back in his own zone. And they'll play keep away. Noser couldn't knock the pass down in the neutral zone. And it's rifled in that time by Milo Peterson. 38 seconds left to go. Here comes Herrera. Off the ice is Rawson to get the extra attacker in the middle. It's Alexander trying to be sent down low, and it gets scooped all the way out. And we'll go all the way for an icing call. Must-win draw coming up for Rockford.
Yeah, if not, it's just a matter of can the Americans hit the net from the other end of the ice with 20 seconds to go. What amounts to an empty net 5-on-5 essentially opportunity here for Rockford. But here we go, Logan. This is it. 20 seconds, everything on the line.
Face off to the right wing side of David Hyatt Jr. Controlled by Rockford. On the point, it's McCowan. He gets his own rebound. 10 seconds left to go. A sharp angle shot goes off the side of the goal. In the far side corner, it's Alexander. 5 seconds left to go. A turnover's forced by the Americans. Pitting it up against the boards is Rhea. And the Affton Americans win it in regulation time. The Affton Americans played really well all game long, and they are your Midget U18 Red 1 CSDHL champions.
Just an incredible hockey game, Logan, on so many levels. And we talked early in that second period about how it felt like Affton was down 1-0, but controlling the pace of the game. Certainly had a lot more in them offensively. That is indeed how it played out down the stretch. Rockford with a couple of pretty good scoring chances down the line. But also, I want to go back to that diving save that Reagan Rawson made on a point-blank shot attempt down here. We had to, you were thrilled about it at the time. It was such an exciting play to call, and then there wasn't another stoppage afterwards to talk about it because that save kept Rockford in the game until the very end.
Oh, absolutely. And, Rockford just didn't come to win. Quite frankly, Affton Americans had something to prove, not beating this Rockford Hockey Club at all throughout the regular season, I should say, and just played really well throughout the course of this hockey game and generated more of the scoring chances, outshot them, outworked Rockford throughout the course of this hockey game, and are rewarded with a big win at the end of all of it.
And I think sometimes it's so easy to look back at game results and say something like that, but man, when you watch Affton play this weekend, that's what you felt like. They came here with something to prove. They finished 3rd out of 14 in the regular season standings, which is not shabby, but look at who they had to knock off if they were going to win this title. Second-seeded Peoria in their own bracket. They took care of that in emphatic fashion on Thursday night. And then, of course, top-seeded Rockford here. And Affton played like they had nothing to lose for the entire game, really, once you got through those first few minutes of the teams kind of trying to feel each other out.
Absolutely, yeah, and it was a huge loss there of Ethan Walters for Rockford for that butt-heading call, being assessed 5-minute major in a game misconduct, being the person who was tied in goals, first in goals throughout the playoffs, second in goals, and second in assists, first in points through the regular season for Walter. So obviously that was a huge loss, not being able to play with him for the rest of this hockey game. But yeah, as you said, Affton Americans playing really well. We'll send it out as they receive their championship hats. And we'll be back in a couple minutes to bid you adieu.
Take down the couple things I can take down now.
Well, that'll do it here in Romeoville for this U18 Red Division 1 matchup. Affton Americans emerging victorious after a hard-fought playoffs. 3 games in the past 2 days coming into today. Big win here, an upset win against Rockford, an upset win against Peoria earlier in the playoffs, and a well-deserving championship awarded to the Affton Americans.
Yeah, most certainly. They're going to be able to take that rather lengthy drive back to South Suburban St. Louis, knowing that they came and got everything that they came up to Romeoville for. A really exciting weekend of hockey. They set the tone, really, Affton did, for this whole weekend across all 3 levels that were here, with one of the biggest wins of the weekend on Thursday night, and they finished it off with a spectacular come-from-behind victory here, 2-1 over top-seeded Rockford. Just a good hockey game and a great weekend overall here in Romeoville.
Absolutely. As we conclude things, Affton Americans win it. Final score 2-1. Scoring recap: Charles Nackey and Milo Peterson had the 2 tallies for the Affton Americans. The lone goal for Rockford coming from Gavin Brady. For everyone here at Sports Broadcast Solutions and for Tommy Gilbert, my name is Logan Kemp. Affton Americans win it. We'll catch you all on the next one.